The Pittsburgh Steelers situation is far from calm. The quarterback dilemma and Mike Tomlin's harsh criticism after a devastating loss to the Chiefs are making headlines. Has Russell Wilson already lost the team's trust? And what can we expect from the drastic changes Tomlin promised before the playoffs? The Steelers still have hope, but time is running out. Stick around, because today, you'll get the full picture of what's happening in Pittsburgh. And don't forget to hit that like button to support the channel. The Pittsburgh Steelers are at a critical crossroads, facing a major headache at the quarterback position that could make or break their season. The AFC North is slipping through their fingers, and while they've secured a playoff spot, nobody believes they'll go far. So the big question is it time to change who's leading the offense? Not long ago, it seemed like Russell Wilson was the guy. 3 weeks ago, he led a win over the Cleveland Browns, throwing for 158 yards and 2 touchdowns, even without George Pickens, who was out with an injury. Everyone was saying, Russ is cooking again, and some were even whispering his name in MVP conversations. But now, 3 weeks later, reality looks very different. During that time, Wilson has only managed 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and even lost a fumble. When the Steelers decided to bet on Wilson this season, many saw it as the end of the line for Justin Fields. The question was, how would Fields get back on the field? The answer seemed clear. Only if the Steelers were on the brink of missing the playoffs, and Wilson was to blame. Well, the playoffs are guaranteed, but honestly, nobody believes Pittsburgh has a real shot, and much of the distrust falls squarely on Wilson. Of course, he's not the only issue. The defense is no longer the fortress it once was. The ground game is struggling behind an inconsistent offensive line, and even the coaching staff has been underwhelming. But Wilson has been the one consistently derailing whatever momentum the team manages to build, game after game, with questionable decisions and subpar execution. A quarterback's role is to keep the team on track. Early in the season, that was Wilson's biggest compliment. Today, he's doing the opposite. If the argument for him is that nothing else is working on the team, that might be true. But if the offense needs an energy boost, why not give Justin Fields another shot? He's still part of the game plan precisely because he can bring unexpected brilliance on any given play. The Steelers need to decide. If they genuinely want to break their playoff win drought, Fields deserves another opportunity. Otherwise, the team will head into the season's final week with an expensive quarterback and ignoring the fact that Russell Wilson's magic has long since faded. So, Steelers fans, what would you do? Change the quarterback now, or is it too late? Drop your opinion in the comments. But if you think this is chaotic, wait until you hear Mike Tomlin's harsh words. Mike Tomlin didn't hold back after the Steelers lost to the Chiefs on Christmas. It was a brutal 29-10 blow that only deepened the team's struggles, and Tomlin summed up the disaster in one blunt phrase. That was trash. With that, the coach made it clear that the performance simply isn't good enough. And how could it be? This is a team that was a promising 10-3, but is now in free fall with 3 straight losses and trailing the Ravens in the AFC North race with just 1 week left in the regular season. Against the Chiefs, it was the same nightmare that has become routine in recent weeks. Disastrous turnovers, penalties at the worst possible moments, out-of-sync special teams, and a defense that seemed incapable of getting anywhere near Patrick Mahomes. The result? 4 Chiefs touchdown drives that buried any chance of a comeback. For Tomlin, this can't go on. He knows the team needs to turn the page, and fast. There are a lot of ways to look at this, but the bottom line is simple. Our junior varsity team isn't good enough, Tomlin said in an interview on the team's official site. We've got to face that, but we also need to assess what needs to change. You can't keep doing the same things and expect different results. That's not smart. We're going to take a hard look over the next few days and make the changes we need because, honestly, this isn't working. It's not good. That's the reality. Despite the disappointing performance, the Steelers are guaranteed a playoff spot regardless of the outcome against the Bengals in Week 18. But the way they're playing, Tomlin made it clear. This team won't last long in the postseason if they don't get back on track. And the clock is ticking. Honestly, the way things stand, I wouldn't bet a penny on the Steelers making a deep playoff run. Russell Wilson isn't delivering, and Tomlin seems more lost than ever. If this defense doesn't rediscover its identity and the offense doesn't come to life, it's going to be one and done in the playoffs. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for the next chapters of this Pittsburgh saga. Don't miss updates on your favorite team.